Deutschland, take me to Deutschland, Freiheit in the night. Deutschland, Deutschland, take me to Deutschland, Friday, Fahrenheit. Deutschland, Deutschland, take me to Deutschland, Freiheit in the night. Deutschland, Deutschland, take me to Deutschland, Friday, Fahrenheit.
And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 4-Digit Mania World Cup 2023. We are now entering into the round of 16. And boy, do we have a interesting first match as we get things started in the winners round of 16. This is going to be Brazil taking on Germany, two teams that had the pretty decent first round matches against Italy and Taiwan retrospectively. And of course, now we are here into the Germany's warm-up, as it's going to be the 6th seed taking on the 11th seed, and whoever wins that match will move on to the winners quarterfinals, either taking on Malaysia or United Kingdom. Refereeing this match by emergency ref is the Hunter One. Streaming this match will be Pantarages. I am Porcus Great. Joining with me is Diet Escape. How are you doing, Diet Escape?
Doing well as always, Fork. Pretty excited for this match, especially as the opening match, as it should be quite a banger. We've got Brazil seed 6 versus Germany seed 11. Gonna see who makes it out and about into the quarterfinals round, as things are ramping up quite quickly in the difficulty. So we'll have to see how both teams handle this little bump in the pool.
Yep. So for Brazil versus Germany, two teams that had pretty interesting rosters comparing from last year to this year. For Brazil, you have Zerg and Mike Kiki returning from Brazil. Over on Deutschland, you have Medium Keck, Punish, and Tiger, who's not on the stream right now, but 3 German players returning from last year's 4-digit MWC. Not to also mention that you also have Medium Keck and Punish played on last year's MWC as well. So this is going to be, a pretty interesting match, especially with Germany assembling an interesting roster of mostly players from the ERA clan, a clan that has started to really taking its attention into the Mania community, as you also have some players from other countries representing the ERA tag, like Frostmill this year. And if I remember correctly, Clarion also played for the United States last year, who's also currently with ERA as well. So that should be a pretty interesting roster that Germany has.
Yeah, Era, pretty prominent clan in the Mania scene. Brazil, no clan members from them. It's all Germany. But what I'm most interested in, Fork, is what you think is going to happen within the confines of this match, and which maps both of these teams are going to be attracted to.
Yep, and it's going to be really interesting to see two teams with very different strengths and skill sets, and especially with the map pool, it's definitely a step up, but it still feels like we're kind of like in the if I were to describe the map pool, we're kind of like in the barrier between still in the early game, but we're starting to really approach into the mid game portion of this tournament. So it's going to be interesting to see two teams trying to be able to adapt into this new map pool, as you know some maps are pretty difficult, and some maps are definitely some maps that some teams would want to avoid picking, or perhaps would like to ban to be able to avoid playing maps that are really catering into their biggest skill sets.
Yeah, Brazil getting that roll of 24, only for Germany to roll a 1. So Brazil gonna go ahead and get first pick here, as well as first protect. Pretty unfortunate roll by Germany.
Yep. So with this in mind, Brazil with the first protect, I believe it's still the same map pool, so I'm assuming it's one protect and one bans. Brazil will take first protect, but Germany will have first ban, but Brazil will also get first pick as well.
Yeah, and Brazil, you'd have to imagine, are gonna go for those LN protects and be able to flex into the hybrid slots later into the match. Yeah, gonna go ahead immediate to LN1 protect from the side of Brazil. Germany, it's quite interesting because they are quite spread out as a team. I'd imagine that they would probably protect an SV, as I think Brazil is going to go for an SV ban as they did last round.
Yeah, definitely Germany, very familiar with most of the players. They have competed, in various tournaments, so I feel like, with Rice, Hybrid, and LS, they do have pretty they do have a pretty versatile team that that could play pretty much any maps or any skill sets that could definitely benefit Germany, as Medium Tech will go with the SV2 Protect, but they're going to ban LN3, which is the wild card of LN map, as mentioned by the poolers in the showcase. Definitely an interesting pick for Germany. I feel like, this map would definitely test out teams mid-game, as Brazil is going to ban SB1, so SB2 being the only map and it's the only protect from Germany, so we're going to see SB2 being the only SB map on the pool here. But aside from that, Brazil is now up with their first pick.
Yeah, everything going according to plan. We got the SV protect and bans. It seems like Germany wanted to get that SV2 protect out before Brazil had a chance to say which one they wanted to play in match, being that there is only 2, so there's only 1 ban available. It's quite interesting that they do ban LN3 from Germany, as the LN3 pick from last round was actually protected from Germany, but I assume they are not trying to go into a head-to-head matchup in the LN side of things, going to try to find some points over on the Rice picks. So, that being said, Brazil gonna start off with the hybrid 1 pick that is more of the LN leaning, LN biased hybrid. We're gonna have to see how the Germany team stands up to this.
Yep, this is hybrid 1. This is from what I've seen would be the LN oriented hybrid, if that would make sense. But I feel like the Rice patterns in this map still has a strong of a presence on its own, to the point where it's like I really thought that this was a balanced hybrid map in a way.
Yeah, definitely those Jack patterns later on can be quite tricky, and I think that the schlongs that come up in the back half as well might prove to be a bit of a problem. We could see some breaks all the way towards the end of the map to swing things over in someone's favor. However, Brazil gonna field out Zerg, Naoni, Bunny, and Meikiki. No surprises there. They've been such a rock-solid formation from last round. Germany gonna have Tiger, Survey, and Medium Keck on their side.
Speaking of, however, Naoni did lost the lobby, so maybe Brazil going to switch in with another player, perhaps, or maybe they're just going to put it Naoni as like their final member, being in the Brazil 3-player roster that they do have for Hybrid 1. Survey, Medium Keck, and Tiger. Definitely an interesting roster, and definitely, this is going to be definitely an interesting match. Take a shot every time I say definitely.
Yeah, Boo Boo going to be coming in for Naoni. Bunny probably just more, just better at the ACK department in this map compared to Naoni. Those Zerg and Meikiki also are just insane. Medium Keck, Survey, and Tiger are, do have a lot of work to do in this map if they are to take this first break point from Brazil.
Yep, and we already have some client issues in which our streamer able to get that out of the way, and here we go officially. No more client breaks, please. Starting off with some streams here and there. Brazil with the early lead right now. Tiger and Bava with the lowest accuracies, so they're going to compete against each other. Meanwhile, Meikiki and Zerg with a really impressive high accuracy compared to Survey and Medium Tech did try to initially keep up with them, but has now started to see a bubble of act drops.
Yeah, mainly that's going to be on the side of Tiger and Medium Keck. I think Medium Keck taking a couple 200s. Tiger as well as the little flares come out. Zerg and Meikiki have done well to keep up with Survey. Vuvu not too far behind. However, really it's just Medium Keck and Tiger being under that 99.7 mark gonna do things for the Brazilian side.
Yeah, and we're already heading into the fast jack section, and Medium Keck will find the break just at the end of it. That's not looking good for Germany. However, everybody else is looking pretty comfortable as they are definitely adapting into the different node patterns of this map as we are getting into the jump stream section, and yeah, I just don't know if Germany can catch up even with that break from Medium Keck. That may seem to be the dagger, a strike to Germany to give Brazil such a good start for this match.
Yeah, those Schlong Trills catching no one off guard, and as the map tries to close off, we do see that lead from Brazil pretty much stay stagnant. These 3 players from Brazil have really garnered up a very impressive team score, it looks like. The exception of Buvu being under that 99.7 accuracy. Zerg and Meikiki are going to take home 991 and 992 respectively, as Survey, Tiger, and Medium Keck, unfortunately, the accuracy was just not there for them on this map.
Yeah, regardless, definitely a really good performance from Meikiki and Zerg, both scoring 990s. I think, it was just pretty much Brazil just definitely outperforming Germany and pretty much throughout this map. Even with Bavou with the low accuracy, it looked pretty strong in the third member battle with against Tiger, and that's just going to give Brazil a much needed first point. But however, Germany can still catch up against Brazil. It's just going to be again a strategy battle to see which maps does Germany feel comfortable they can not only play well, but also to the point where it might catch Brazil off guard, or hopefully just not perform as well as what Germany would expect.
Yeah, and I think the timing of Germany's Protect is so important, as well as V2. You really have to pick it while it's at a point where it's like fresh in your mind, but it's still stale in the Brazilian team's mind. I'm not sure if they're gonna opt to do it now if they had the idea of practicing the SV right before this match had started. However, I assume if it's not going to be SV2, it's probably going to be something in Rice, and it is going to be Rice 1 picked by Germany. This is a pretty good pick as well, since Brazil did lose to Italy in the Rice 1 pick of last round.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting pick for Germany. But however, you know, you would think that with this loss, Brazil would definitely will come into Rice 1 a bit much better prepared after losing it out on that pick against against their opponents last time, Italy. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how well Germany will do against Brazil. Rice 1, your typical jump stream map. The map is pretty consistent in difficulty from start to finish. There might be a bit of a spike up in difficulty in the second half, but other than that, the difficulty is just really straightforward, and the patterns can also be straightforward as well.
Yeah, I think with the Rice 1 last round where it was 200 BPM, but awkward patterning, this one, as you said, a bit more consistent, and you do get that bump, of course, from 200 to 212. So it's tough to say who is going to be super consistent on this. Looks like no sub-outs on the side of Brazil so far. Germany gonna have Space, Tiger, and Medium Keck. Of course, Space being very good Rice player on the side of Team Germany. Saw them a lot, especially on Rice 2 last round. Very good Rice accuracy by them. Gonna have to see how this one turns out.
Yep, we are getting into Rice 1 right now. And yep, it's just going to be 1-0 Brazil. Germany looking to take their first point of this match, but it's just going to depend on how well Germany will do against Brazil in Rice 1. Brazil looking to take revenge after last weekend against Italy. And oh, wait a minute, Medium Keck.
Yeah, Medium Keck's hands off the keyboard, unless that is a Bancho moment, as well as Buvu I had seen missing a couple of times in the first like 50 notes. Yeah, it's gonna be an abort.
Yeah, and it happened just at the start, before 30 seconds. So that was, if that were to happen much later, that would have spelled bad news for Germany. Medium Keck got really, really lucky. It happened just at the start.
Yeah, so saving grace for Germany is that they are gonna get a mulligan for this map. Good thing they didn't turn over that point to Brazil for free. I mean, giving your opponent a free map in something as small as a best of 9 first to 5 is so dangerous. They can't be playing with fire like that.
Yeah, definitely. Germany got lucky with that one, but you know, this will mean they will have the opportunity to play again. So this is going to mean that Germany is getting ready. Hopefully, Medium Keck will be able to have his keyboard not have any more disconnecting issues. But aside from that, we are getting into Rice 1. A pretty short Rice 1 compared to round of 32's Rice 1. And here we go.
Yeah, right out of the bat, see Buvu and Zerg's accuracy at the top of the lobby right now. Meikiki holding up well with 99.7. Germany, honestly, pretty good, but just a slight step behind their counterparts on the other side of the screen.
Yeah, and what sucks was that before the restart, Germany had the lead against Brazil, but then the keyboard issue happened, and now Germany having the shorter stick of things in this restart against Brazil. Brazil actually improving their start, so this is going to be interesting to see how will this match fare towards the end. Definitely it's just going to be interesting as everybody is doing really good right now. There's just, various 300s being hit from um, each player on each team, but that's really just what Rice 1 is. Like, especially with like the 212 BPM jump streams, it's just really hard to stay consistent, but to maintain those max notes, to hit those max note judgments. And Brazil looking slightly better than Germany, but we are in the second half, so the difficulty is going to slightly ramp up.
Yeah, nothing too crazy from either side. It seems like no bad judgments are coming out. Bubu, Zerg, and Meikiki are holding super strongly. Arab, Medium, Keck, Tiger, and Space are tied in accuracy right now at around that 99.8 range. But, I mean, Bubu and Zerg really just showing off why Brazil got second place in the jump stream qualifiers. That was stage 7. I think Bubu got second place individually, but Zerg actually finding a break.
Oh my goodness, I thought that was... Wait, look at his face! What? Oh my goodness, that was a crazy finish! Brazil, what was that? Man, what an interesting finish. Like, you were just talking about how Brazil was like second in the jump stream qualifiers, but then we did catch Zerg breaking, but then Space with a much worse break that just give Brazil the last minute lead. Like,
Yeah, I
they
think
just won
Space
within like the
absolutely
last
face
second.
tanked the entirety of that jump trill and just unfortunately got a slew of bad judgments. Gave that point, unfortunately, over to Brazil. Germany had, that point in the bag for about all of 2 seconds before disaster struck.
Yeah, this is really bad news for Germany right now. Now they really need to they're literally playing right into Brazil's hands right now, and this forces Germany to now having to try to take a break point back to be able to make it 2-1 still in favor of Brazil, but would get Germany on the board right now. Oh man, that was super unlucky for Germany, and Brazil, however, caught a lucky break. That was interesting.
Now it's their point to pick. I would assume they would go for LN2 with LN1 still being up on the board. So we're gonna have to see what they want to opt for.
Yeah. So Brazil being up 2-0 right now. Definitely, Germany did look pretty good on Rice 1. So, but if I were to beat Germany, I go with that SB2 after this pick, regardless of if they win or not. And they're gonna go with LN2.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. If there's a time to pull the trigger, it really is now for Germany to pick SB2 after this map. But right now they have to focus on the present, try to take this pick from the hands of Brazil as they've already given over that break point.
Yep. So we are here with LN2. This is your density LN map. Not really much as dense. It's not what you expect from a typical density LN map, but there's still a good chunk of it being featured in this map, and especially it's 3 minutes 23 seconds long, so some consistency is going to be tested upon these players as they will play LN2. There are some release patterns as well, if I remember watching the showcase as well. So for the rosters, Zerg, Maikiki, and Nayani Bunny will be playing for Brazil. Medium Keck, Leo of the ERA clan, and Tiger will be playing for Germany. Germany still looking to take their first point against Brazil. Brazil looking to make it 3-0 to really give themselves a huge start ahead of Germany. Well, all that really matters right now is how well these two teams will do on LN2.
Yeah, and Naoni Bunny coming in for Brazil. We're gonna have on the side of Germany, Leo, Medium Keck, and Tiger. Tiger unfortunately taking a pretty nasty start to the map. Gonna have to look for any increases in accuracy from them as they try to get back up to 99.7. But really, when Brazil is, they have two players at that 99.8 mark, it's so hard for Germany to try to find an early lead.
Yeah, and the score is slightly flickering right now, so maybe on Brazil, someone did drop a 200 or perhaps a 100. So this is still based on the screen right now. It's still slightly in favor of Brazil, but Germany is literally at striking distance right now. It's just really going to be the consistency of how well these players will do. Oh yeah, I would like to mention with the KIs, that's really the toughest part of the map. I believe we're almost getting into the KIs.
Yeah, we get shades of what is to come in that last little ki at the end of the map here, albeit at not too long of a section. All players from Brazil clearing that quite well. I think Tiger took a couple 200s, had that act drop just a little bit, as well as medium Keck. So unfortunately, Germany is down with two players below 99.7. And Zerg totally at the top of the lobby with a 99.86. Really impressive by them as we get into the back half of the map.
Yeah, and right now, everybody's doing well on the KI section. Every player is feeling really comfortable playing this map right now. Germany is definitely adapting, but they're not adapting well enough to be able to overtake Brazil as of right now. But there's still a good chunk of map left as we are heading into the second KI here.
Yeah, I think Germany took just a little bit more damage yet again, so they, Brazil has a slight cushion. However, anything can happen, and a miss might be enough at this point to swing things over to Germany. And we still have that last very large KI section.
Yeah, but if Germany needs Brazil to break, they need to break right now, or have a huge collapse if Germany wants to take this break point. But however, Nayani, Bunny, Zerg, and Waikiki is just staying consistent right now. And even if they do break once, I still feel like they would slightly still hold on to the lead, as there's just not enough notes left.
Yeah, Ki just about closing out. Last couple of measures left in the song, and Brazil, I think they have sealed it. Brazil is going to be up 3-0 against Germany.
Yeah, and that's just going to be it. Brazil just looked pretty strong. Every player looked really strong on this really tough LN2 map, but it's just Brazil just looking at much slightly better than Germany, as you can just see the screens. Medium Keck unfortunately getting the really short stick of things with 11 200s, while everybody else with like either 5 or 6 200s. But it also did help that Brazil just had better ratio, having 300 less 300s more than Germany. How much Germany has with their 300s count. So that was just a difference maker as to how Brazil was able to take this one. But that was a really great performances from everyone all around. But for Germany, that was not what they were hoping for, however, as they're gonna go straight into SV2 as what I was suggesting.
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly, that really it just came down, aside from those 200s, the big difference maker was those 300s, that LN accuracy from the three players of Brazil. And Germany, this could be potentially their last pick. So it really is up to them to try to get this point, as they are, backs up against the wall, down 0-3. They need to find this point right now off of their protect.
Yeah, and if there's a point that they need to take this one. Otherwise, if they somehow ends up losing that pick to Brazil, it's only going to be done in just another 10 to 15 minutes. Brazil, going with the lineup with Sor and Sor, Zerg, and Nyani Bunny. Sor coming in for his first map. Punish is going to come in for Germany with Medium Keg and Survey. So 3 players from the ERA clan being in the lobby at the same time together. This is going to be really interesting to see how well these players will do on SV2.
Yeah.
SV2, there's a lot more memorization for this map. It's something that I believe Pataraj himself has mentioned. He would recommend sight reading this map. So this is something that with the lineups, I just assume everybody actually played this map. Otherwise, if you're sight reading, it's definitely going to be tough, especially with that with those jacks that Pataraj did mention. It's you could actually quad it, but it's not really recommended. However.
Yeah, there are a couple of places where technically you could quad it, but it really might mess up your accuracy. It should be noted, it always is interesting with the SV picks that people get fresh faces in the lobby. So we're coming in for Brazil, might be a little warm and had been practicing. However, at that low 99 accuracy for them, as well as for the Zerg, that early lead is going to be over to Germany. Aero Medium Keck actually taking a lot of damage, however, Punish and Survey doing their best to hold things up.
Nyani Bunny will find the first break, so that's going to skyrocket Germany's lead. The ERA clan, they are in the lobby right now, looking very comfortable. Even with the 200 drops, I just don't think it's just going to pretty much matter, especially since this is a really short map as well.
Yeah, with only a minute and a half, there really is no time for Brazil to make a comeback. Beautiful pick coming out for Germany. They studied up, realized that Brazil had banned an SV map in their last match, as well as getting only a 22nd place finish for the SV qualifiers. That's going to hand over Germany their first point and be able to get things going for them. It is now 3-1 in favor of Brazil, and it's their pick.
Yeah, even though in the third player battle that Sora pretty much caught up to Medium Keg, and oh man, you just gotta feel bad for wait, no, it was Nyani Bunny that break. Even though Sora did have the lowest score, but almost beat Medium Keg in terms of scoring. The difference was just between the first and second player battle for Punish and Survey, both having the top 2 of the lobby for SV2. But with this in mind, however, it is 3-1, and I still argue that if they need to win a map, now would be the time. But Brazil wasting no time going with LN1.
Yeah, and this is their protect, so I'd imagine that this is the one that the 3 players from Brazil feel most comfortable in taking a point. So Germany, again, as they've struggled in both the LN biased hybrid and the other LN map, Germany has some work to do, and things look kind of grim on this map, but not really. It's not finished yet. It hasn't even started, so they're gonna have to find something here.
Yep. Definitely for Germany, they're gonna have to get their hands dirty against Brazil, especially with this LM map. This is your release-oriented LM map. Just about 2 minutes, 14 seconds long, so it's pretty short. Man, it's a pretty interesting song on itself, but the map pretty difficult as well. So definitely going to be interesting to see how will these players will adapt. Serg, Maikiki, Ki, and Nyani Bunny will be coming in for Brazil. Tiger and Leo will be switching in for Survey and Punish. So it's going to be interesting to see how well these players perform.
Yeah, a lot of one-hand staggered releases at the start to really set the tone for the mood of this match. And as you see it, Meikiki with a 99.6 beginning, and it's flipping back and forth, but Zerg and Nyani Bunny are going to try to keep up the defenses against the German team.
Yeah, Maikiki with a pretty awkward start, but it's starting to feel pretty comfortable with the map now. As you know, this map is pretty consistent to say the least in terms of the pacing of this map. Some different release patterns here and there, but as long as you get the pacing in, it should be pretty straightforward for these players to play through these maps.
Yeah, Tiger actually taking a pretty dirty miss, I believe, on the inverse section. So that lead for Brazil going to grow even larger as we get into the back half of the map. And with Zerg and Naoni Bunny doing really well, and Tiger, I think that's got to be keyboard issues or something. Just super unfortunate drops, blow after blow from them.
Yeah, that's not looking good for Tiger right now. If it's another keyboard issue, that is just super unlucky for Germany, as you know, the team is dealing with technical issues. First with Medium Kek and now Tiger with the unfortunate chain break right there. That's just going to really extend the lead for Brazil. But Naoni Bunny will find the first break, but compared to that to Tiger's breaks, that's really just a pinch of the score being taken away from Brazil's lead. But however, Brazil will be able to easily take their protect pick, all because of what's really going on with Tiger, which is super unlucky to see.
Yeah, and I'd imagine if Tiger had put up a decent score, it would be pretty close looking at the ending accuracies and taking into account that miss, that slider break from Naoni Bunny. So you're going to make Kiki with a combined average about 990 and Leo and Medium Kek slightly behind. However, again, with Tiger maybe getting a 990, it could have been Germany's point, honestly.
Now, if I were Germany, what maps are there that Germany does have a good chance of winning against Brazil? They looked really strong on Rice 1. Even with that restart where they had a much poor start, they almost pulled off the comeback until the unfortunate last break. But if I were Germany, I could see them picking maybe Rice 3. That's the map that still has a good chunk of jump stream patterns in there. I just don't see them picking Hybrid 2, however. I feel like that would probably be Brazil's last pick, assuming if Germany does win their own pick for this one.
Yeah, I would actually say Germany might find their shot in something as polarizing as Rice 2 last week when they faced Taiwan. Space and Serbia put up some very scary scores on the speed map, so maybe it would be a good choice for them to go ahead with yet another speed pick this week.
I don't know. I just don't know if going with speed might work out. Maybe it could. But I don't know. Germany doesn't have a lot of options left. I could see them going with Rice 3, maybe Rice 4. I feel like if they want to go speed, Rice 5 or Rice 2 is a good viable option.
Yeah, it's just interesting because last week they had banned Rice 4, so I don't... Oh wow, and they are going to go with Rice 4 for this week. They do feel confident trying to take a point against Brazil in the mixed rice category.
Yep, a really banger song as well. So I'm really, really happy that Germany picked it just so I could listen to it again.
Yeah, this one is quite nice. This is, I believe, an Eterna conversion by the mapper DZ, and features a lot of, mixed rice elements. A lot of little burst of speed in between the broke jump stream or jacks.
Yep, you will see space coming in for Germany, looking to rebound after the unexpected break at the last second of Rice 1. Tiger and Serbia will be coming in for Germany, which is really, really interesting. I'm guessing they're going to save up Medium Kek for the next pick for Brazil's going to pick. Meanwhile, Sor and Zerg and Ionic Buddy will be playing for Brazil. Sor being his second map for the lobby for today, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, we've only seen them in that SV pick, I believe, right? So, gonna see how well Sword can do for this early game Rice pick. I guess accuracy is the name of the game. I don't expect any of these players to really be taking any drops, and you're gonna have to try to keep the 200s to an absolute minimum on this map.
Yeah, so Tiger with the just telling in the IRC chat, hopefully he will not be experiencing any issues from his computer. But aside from that, we're still waiting for the players to get ready. Definitely, it's going to be really difficult for Germany to come back, especially with how consistent Brazil has played. Aside from the SB, they have been pretty strong in Rice, LN, and Hybrid as well. I just think that Germany might outmatch Brazil in Rice, but I feel like if they want to win, everything has to go right for Germany in order to win.
Yeah, totally agree with you there. It is match point for Brazil, so the time is now for the players of Germany to show up. And as we try to get the lobby going, I mean, I really do think that Germany kind of has the edge on this map as it stands.
Yep. So, Rice 4, this is your mixed Rice map. This does have some streams, but also have some various different trill patterns in the map as well. Pretty much a very interesting map, Rice 4, compared to Harlequin and the Round of 32 Rice 4 pick. There's no trill definitive. There's no definitive trill section, so this is going to be a pretty interesting map. I did see a 200 week drop from Bavu, so this is going to be really interesting to see how these players will perform. Zor with the break, however, on that mixed Rice section right there.
Yeah, Sword taking such an early break. At least it was before combo cap, if that is to be the silver lining. However, now Germany does have the ball in their court, and they are doing very well to keep it away from Brazil, as Space and Tiger and also Survey all above that 99.75 range. Naoni Bunny trying their best, as well as Boo Boo. However, really that miss from Sword and them being at a 99.55 does take a damper on things, as Sword takes yet another break, and that might be it for the map, honestly. 2 breaks,
Yeah,
and I don't expect anyone else to.
Sword's just really struggling with consistency. The consistency of the map is pretty apparent. Space will find a break, but Germany has built themselves a really strong lead that, unless if someone from Germany have another technical issues, I just don't think Brazil has enough time to catch up. The consistency of the map with some really tricky patterns in terms of like the gray stream type patterns. It's just not going to be enough for Germany with a much needed Rice 4 win against Brazil. That was a nice pick for Germany, but now, however, the map, it's now up to Brazil for what they're going to pick, which I'm almost 100% certain. Unless they are trying to bamboozle me, there's no way they're not going to go with Hybrid 2 or Hybrid 1. The other hybrid map, pretty much.
Yeah, I'd imagine that Brazil are going to fire off a hybrid 2 pick. Germany doing well to keep up appearances. They pulled off a really strong team score, but I mean, things could have gone south. Looking at the scores, Boo and Naoni Bunny, 996, 995. That was extremely scary if it weren't for Soar's issues in the map.
Yep, they're going with Hybrid 2. It's just that, well, there's not a lot of LN presence compared to Hybrid One. Um, but it's just, however, even if Brazil, like I mentioned, even if Brazil isn't really strong with Rice, they have been doing a really great job keeping up with Germany's Rice ability. So I s- I do not want to say that Germany has a much better chance, but I still feel like it's just the consistency coming from Germany that they just really been lacking in. But however, they did do pretty well on LN2, which was that density oriented map. So especially now, when you consider that Brazil has won all of their picks so far, I just don't know if Germany does have the opportunity to catch up. But never say never. However,
No, yeah, totally right, Fork. Never say never really is key. Germany still has that outside shot of taking it to tiebreaker. And like you were saying, there's not a lot of LN presence. However, I think that when it is there, the difficulty is kind of multiplied when you are taking into account the fact that, they're very short holds and then you immediately have to transition out into the Rice Jacks. And especially at 150 BPM Jacks, things can get pretty scary for any player in this lobby.
yeah, don't let the BPM on the screen fool you. That's like 300 for whatever reason. I wouldn't even imagine playing 300 BPM nodes.
Yeah, it's 300 BPM is probably something we won't be seeing in many skill sets by the end of this tournament.
So our lineups is mostly set. Maikiki, Nayani, Buddy, Zurich will be playing for Brazil. That's pretty much almost like your core players or core lineup that Brazil has been assembling. Meanwhile, for Germany, Medium Keck is going to come back. Tiger and Serbia is going to team up with Medium Keck in the hopes of getting Germany their much needed break point, and that could and I figured if Germany were to take this break point, it would really help them. But Medium Keg with an odd break on that Trill section right there.
Yeah, super unfortunate, but it is gonna hand things over to Brazil for the time being. And with Tiger being at below that 99.7 and Survey being beaten out by two of the members of Brazil, things are looking pretty strong on the left side of the screen. As I say that, Meikiki does take a break, so it does equalize out in favor of Germany. We're gonna have to see as the players get back to the combo cap how the scores will pan out.
Yeah, Medium Keg is able to get back into the combo cap. So this is going to give the lead slightly an advantage to Germany. But the score is still very much flickering right now. It's really, really close right here. But Medium Keg with another break. That's almost not good for Germany right now.
I was gonna say, as Naoni Bunny and Zerg hold strong at above a 99.8, only matched by Serbia on the side of Team Germany. I mean, Tiger kind of has to get that ack up, and Medium Keck with those two breaks throughout this map, definitely gonna, hurt Germany's chances of taking this point and potentially making a comeback, as there's only a fourth of the map left.
Yeah, as we get into the final TI, uh, it's a pretty straightforward sequence. I just don't think, unless if Brazil just suddenly have like technical issues, I just don't think it's just not going to be enough for Germany to come back, as we are just at the end of the map with 2.8 million. It's just not going to be enough. Brazil being able to take their last pick, having the 100% pick rate, and that which was just a much needed difference maker as to how Brazil was able to win this one. And so your winners for this winners round of 16, it's going to be the team of Zerg, Maikiki, Nayani Buddy. Oh, I'm just looking at the team names. J4, Bavu, and Soar, Team Brazil, as they will be moving on into the winners quarterfinals. And Germany, definitely, they have performed pretty well. Don't get me wrong. It's just that when it comes to the consistency battle, Brazil was a lot more consistent throughout the whole match, actually. And yeah, you could argue that if it wasn't for the technical issues and whatever else Germany would, could have happened to Germany, this match would have looked a lot different. But aside from that, a tough break for Germany, but no worries, they're not completely out yet, as Brazil will be moving on into the winners quarterfinals, taking on either Malaysia or Great Britain. Another interesting match that should be exciting. Meanwhile, for Germany or Deutschland, they will be taking on either Mexico or Nicaragua. I butchered that country. I'm really sorry for the players who are watching the stream. Do you know how to pronounce that country?
Yeah, Nicaragua. He did it pretty well.
Yeah. But aside from that, that's going to be it for this match. Coming up next, at around 1 UTC, I believe, it's going to be our first losers round of 16. Australia taking on Argentina. I will be commentating on that match as well. So if you guys really like me or just hate me in general, but would love to support your countries, please watch this match. It's definitely an interesting battle between two teams that did look pretty strong in their round of 32 matches despite taking the L's. Other than that, Diascape, do you have any final words?
Nothing much, just make sure you catch that next match as we see who will be the first team out of the tournament. But other than that, hope you guys had a good time, and we will see you in the next one.
Yep, thank you to the Hunter1 for resting. Thank you to Patarajas for streaming. We will see you guys in about 3 hours from now.